Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Glad that you can be here for a little midweek pick me up, or whenever you're enjoying this live stream. As with all these Wednesday practices, we're just gonna kind of dive right in to make the most of our time together. The playlist link is in the chat if you're wanting to listen to that. And I recommended having blocks or a thick blanket. It's mostly just as an option if the way that we begin class is just not your favorite way to exist, to kind of ease into that. But I promise we won't be there for long, so you won't need them for long. So we're gonna dive in. So we're gonna get started. You have two options to get started today. So option one is just settling into kind of a wide kneed child's pose. So laying all the way out, maybe even popping up onto the fingertips to kind of open up, feel all those sensations in the upper back and shoulders. If you really don't want to start in child's pose today, your other option is just sitting back on the heels. And that's where a block might come in handy to kind of give your knees a little extra cushion to lift the bum. So, either option, if you're seated, hands will just come to the thighs, letting the eyes close, gaze drift to the floor. If you're in child's pose, just really feeling that sensation of hips pulling back towards the heels. And again, maybe popping up onto those fingertips to kind of feel that sensation, that feeling in the shoulders, opening things up a bit. And just starting to settle into that nice, easy rhythm of breath. Starting this practice the same way that we start all of our times together, with that little moment of awareness, of check-in, seeing if you can exhale out some of the things you might have been carrying with you into your Wednesday. And just really letting the focus of the mind, the breath, and the body be within these four corners of your mat. Taking just a couple breaths here to really settle into that rhythm of the breath. This class that I have for us today, as I was starting to kind of plan it yesterday, is really just all of the kind of movements and shapes that help me get out of my like desk work body during the day. So we're just going to kind of explore lots of options, lots of areas that might need a little extra release or let go, especially if you are sitting or working at a computer for the duration of your week. We'll take one more big breath here wherever you're at. And if you're in child's pose, just walking the hips back towards the heels, coming into this nice tall seat here. We're going to move through a couple variations just to kind of open up the front body a bit. I'm just going to check. It looks like someone joined. Hopefully everyone can still. Yay. Okay. Jennifer, I'm glad you're here. So sitting up nice and tall, we're just going to start to drop the left hand back behind us. So just kind of back behind so you can prop up onto those fingertips. And as you press into the fingertips, lifting the hips up off the feet and reaching that right arm back behind you. So a little wild thing variation. And then bringing the seat back down, switching to the other side. So right hand comes behind, up on those fingertips, lifting the hips, reaching that left arm back, and then bringing it right back. We're going to go to each side one more time. Left hand reaches back as you lift the hips. One more time to the right. Settling back to that neutral space. And then we're just going to make our way all the way down on our bum. Coming to a nice comfortable seat. settling in here. Once you're settled, nice big reach of the arms out and up, pressing the palms together. Exhale, hands, heart center. We'll move through that 2 more times. Inhale, nice big reach. Exhale, hands to heart. Once more. We're going to start to interlace the fingers here at the heart, and then turning the palms to face away, pressing those hands straight out in front of you. So as we press the hands out, we're going to find a little cat shape to the back. I'm going to turn so you can kind of see. So hands press forward, a little rounding of the back here. And then we're going to take the hands up towards the sky and finding just a little version of our cow pose as you reach those hands up and back. We're going to move through this a couple times, rounding the back, and then pressing the hands up, finding that little bit of cow. One more time, just like that, finding that cat shape, moving into that cow shape. Keeping the spine nice and tall here, we're going to start to release the fingertips as I shimmy, and then pulling the elbows apart, finding that heart opening shape here. Feeling that expanse through the chest, elbows pressing back. We're going to start to press the elbows towards each other, right elbows coming underneath the left. So you have a couple options here. You can wrap the hands around the shoulders. That's option 1. Give yourself a nice little hug. Option 2 is pressing backs of the hands towards each other, or you can wrap the hands for this eagle arm shape. With our inhale, we're just going to lift those hands up towards the sky. Exhale, crunches those elbows in towards the belly. Moving through this a couple times. Inhale to find that lift. Exhale to crunch it in. And we'll come right back into that neutral space, pressing the elbows away from the body. And then gently unwrapping the arms. Nice big reach, hands to the sky. Pulling those elbows apart. Same thing, other side. Dropping that left elbow underneath the right. Same options. Maybe you find that hug, pressing the backs of the hands together or wrapping the hands. We're going to move through that same motion here. Inhale finds that lift of the arms. Exhale crunches it in. Settling back into that neutral space. Gently unwrapping, nice big reach. Hands to heart center. We're just going to make our way over into table. So taking your time to get set up, wrists below the shoulders, knees below the hips. We're going to take just a couple rounds of our cat-cow here. Inhale, drops the belly, lifts the heart. Exhale, rounding the back, pressing away. Moving through these shapes at your own pace. Pausing where you need to pause. Settling into extra movement if it makes sense. Settling back into that nice, tall, long spine here. Nice flat tabletop. We're going to send the right toes back behind us. Pressing through that heel for a couple breaths, finding that stretch through the calf muscle. Coming back to that neutral space. We're going to roll to the big toe side of the foot. That right hand's going to start to reach up towards the sky. And again, we're moving into a little bit of a sequence where you have some options. So option 1 is to just stay here. If this is enough, you can hang out and just breathe. If you're wanting more, maybe you start to float that right foot. And then if you're wanting more, right arm's gonna start to reach forward. We're gonna add a little movement here. So inhale, we're gonna start to puff up that right side body, reaching nice and long through the heel and the fingertips. Exhale is gonna bring it back to lengthening it out. Elbow crunches in towards the side. We'll move that a couple times. Inhale to find that reach, that length. Exhale, crunches that elbow in towards the side. One more time, just like that. Reaching that arm nice and long. Foot comes down if it's lifted, making our way back into our table. Settling into that neutral space for a breath here. And then we're going to send those left toes back behind us. Pressing through that heel, lengthening through the calf. Settling back into neutral. Rolling to the big toe side of the foot. Same thing here, left arm reaches up. And just settling into pause, kind of taking stock, seeing if this is where you want to stay or if you want to add on. Maybe you start to fly that left foot. Maybe you reach that left hand forward. If you want to work that movement in, inhale finds that little puff up of the left side of the body. Exhale crunches that elbow in towards the hip. 2 more times, just like that. We're going to reach that left arm forward. Hand comes down, foot comes down, making our way back to table. From here, tucking toes, lifting hips, down dog. And just spending a couple breaths, maybe you bend into the knees, walking it out. Any little movements that make sense. In this down dog shape, we're just gonna walk the feet to the wide edges of your mat, so a little wider, spaced down dog. Start to put a bend into the knees, and we're walking the hands back towards the feet, settling into a forward fold. Keeping a bend in the knees to make this comfortable, letting the upper body really hang out here. Slowly taking your time with that bend in the knees, rolling all the way up. Once you're there, nice big reach. Exhale, hands to heart. Keeping that wide leg stance here, we're going to inhale, nice big reach. Folding forward. Halfway lift. Folding forward. Inhale, reaches all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. One more time, just like that. Inhale, nice big reach. Folding forward. Halfway lift. Folding forward. Inhale, reaches all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale to reach. Folding forward. Putting a bend in the knees, we're going to walk those hands back forward, coming into our down dog shape. Walking the feet back to hip width distance. Right foot reaches up and back. We're going to step it all the way forward. And we're going to plant that back heel. So we're coming on up. Warrior one. Settling in for a breath. We're going to pull those elbows apart, finding that heart opening space, sending some virtual high fives to all of our friends. And then we're going to start to pull those elbows towards each other, left arm underneath the right, finding that eagle arm shape. We're going to find that same little bit of motion here, just a little bit wider range. Inhale finds that lift of the hands up towards the sky. Exhale, crunches them in, rounding the back. Moving through this 2 more times. Crunching it in once more. Coming back to neutral. Gently unwrapping the arms, nice big reach. And then we're opening it up, warrior two. Settling into that warrior two shape. We're going to flip that front palm, find our reverse. Coming forward, forearm to thigh, extended side angle. Bringing it back, warrior two. Finding that reverse again. Coming forward. Coming back up, warrior two. Hands are going to come down around the foot. We're going to pop up onto those back toes, settling into that high lunge shape, and then come all the way up. Hands can stay reaching towards the sky. You can also bring them to heart center. We're going to start to shift the weight forward and bringing that back leg all the way forward and up towards the chest. Stepping down at any point that you need to. And then bringing that foot down to meet the other. Inhale, nice big reach. Folding forward. Halfway lift. Folding forward. Left foot stays, right foot steps back, planting that back heel. Coming on up, warrior one. Pulling those elbows apart, finding that heart lift. And then pressing those arms together, right arm underneath the left as you settle into that eagle arm shape. Inhale finds that lift. Exhale, crunches it in. One more lift and lower here. Coming back to that neutral space. Unwrapping the arms, nice big reach. And then we're opening it up, warrior two. Taking a moment to settle in here. Feeling grounded through the feet. We're going to flip that front palm, finding our reverse. Coming forward, extended side angle. Coming back up, warrior two. One more time, finding that reverse. Extended side angle. Bringing it back, warrior two. Hands are going to come down around the foot, popping up onto those back toes, getting the legs set in this high lunge shape, coming right back up. Again, hands can stay reaching. You can bring them to heart center. Shifting that weight forward, we're bringing that right leg all the way up towards the chest. And then both feet on the ground. Just letting eyes close, gaze drift to the floor, settling back into your breath here. We'll start to blink those eyes open. Inhale, nice big reach. Keeping those hands reaching up. We're going to shift weight into that left foot. Right knee comes up. We're going to start to send that foot back behind us, arms reach back, maybe a small moment of flight as you step it all the way back, high lunge. Inhaling, hands to the sky as you straighten that front knee. Bending the knee, folding forward, arms fly back as you lift into that warrior three. Stepping it back, high lunge. Inhale to lift. Bending the knee, arms fly back, warrior three. And then we're bringing that knee up towards the heart, hands to the sky. Foot to the ground, hands to heart. Feeling that connection of feet to the floor. Shifting weight into that right foot, left knee comes up. Arms will reach up. We're going to fly the arms back as you send that foot back, maybe a little moment of flight. Stepping into that high lunge. Inhale to lift. Bending the knee to fly. Ooh. Maybe fly. Stepping it back, reaching up, hands to the sky. One more time, finding that flight. We're going to bring that knee up towards the heart, hands to the sky. Foot to the ground, hands to heart. Settling back into the breath. One last round of balance here. Inhale, nice big reach. We're going to pull those elbows apart. Right arm underneath the left as you settle into your eagle arm shape. If you know, we're heading to balance. So if you know that this is just going to be a lot, hands can come to heart. You can skip the eagle arm option. But if you feel like you want to try it, finding that eagle arm shape, shifting weight into that left foot, right knee comes up. And then we're just going to start to find that tilt forward as you send that foot back behind you. Letting go when you need to let go. Finding a different version if that makes sense. We're going to bring that knee right back up to the chest. Setting that foot down. Unwrapping the arms, nice big reach. Feeling that length through the whole body here. Letting everything hang out. Pulling those elbows apart. This time, left arm underneath the right, finding that eagle arm shape if it makes sense to you. Shifting weight to that right foot, left knee comes up. And then we're tilting forward as we send that foot back. Giving yourself space to fall out, find it again. We'll just gently bring that knee right back up towards the heart. Bringing that foot to the ground. Unwrapping, nice big reach. Folding forward. Halfway lift. Folding forward. Bending the knees a lot so you can get the hands down to the mat. Stepping it back into our down dog. And then just dropping the knees. Sending the hips all the way back. Settling into a child's pose. Same option to maybe pop up onto those fingertips if that's something that feels nice. Letting the hips sink all the way back here. And then just gently pressing your way up. We're going to settle into a comfortable seat. Maybe using a blanket underneath the bum to lift the hips if that feels nice. We're going to inhale, nice big reach, hands to the sky. Twisting towards that left knee, hands drop down. Keeping the spine tall. Sending your gaze over that back shoulder. Then turning to look over the front shoulder. One more time to the back. Coming back to neutral. Nice big reach, hands to the sky. Same thing other side. Twisting towards that right knee, hands drop down. Settling into this twist. Feeling that length in the spine. Looking over that back shoulder. Turning to look over the front. One more time to the back. Reaching up, both hands to the sky here. Exhale, hands to heart center. We're just going to bring hands down onto our knees, allowing the eyes to close, gaze to drift to the floor. If you would prefer to lay down for these last few moments of your practice, you're welcome to transition to that. If you're comfortable where you're at, just allowing the body to settle into that stillness and settling back into that awareness. Checking in with the mind, the breath, and the body. Just taking a few moments here to reflect on maybe what this practice gave to you, whether it was a little extra space, a little clarity of mind, or reconnection with the breath. Just recognizing the things that stood out to you and seeing if those are things that can continue to serve you in your space as you move back into your workday, back into whatever the rest of the week might hold. Just using that to set an intention that can carry you into whatever is waiting for you on the outside of your mat, at home or at work. Just honoring the space that you've made and created here today. Wherever you're at, just gently making your way to a comfortable seat if you're not already there. Allowing that breath to deepen. Just bringing palms together in front of the heart. I want to thank you all for sharing this space and this practice with me today, finding a little midweek movement to get us through. The light within me honors the light in each and every one of you. Namaste. Awesome. Thanks everyone so much. I hope the rest of your day is really lovely. Hopefully, you get to enjoy some of the sunshine. But just thank you for sharing space with me today. Cheers, all.